beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that one could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street off where my memories exist, I wonder what would change. I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Good morning, Robertson County. This is 1100 WSGI. And this is One Street Over. I'm U-Turn Laverne, and this is our opportunity to see what's happening one street over from where you're living, even in the summertime. We're going to get it done, and just so excited for all the shows we've got planned over the summer. We're going to do some special stuff. We did a special Memorial Day show yesterday. Of course, I just could not take off Memorial Day. Had an opportunity to honor those who have fallen to keep us free. And so could not take that day off. And if you missed that show, please go back and listen to that. We honored my friend Donna Hagen's brother, Terry Smith, as we always do, and then also talked about my friend Kenneth Pease. Also talked about Gwen Harder's uncle, who was lost in World War II. But again, just make sure that this season you had some time off yesterday, and I know a lot of people had. We went to the ballpark. We finished our day up at the ballpark, and it was just wonderful hanging out with the grandkids, finishing up the 2023 baseball season. But we just have got so many fun things over the summer. I'm getting all my mission shirts out now. This one says "Be the Light." And we're getting ready to go to El Rosario. That'll be in a couple of weeks, and Miss Sweet Lee Marie is going to be filling in for me when I go down there. And I'll be gone six broadcast days, but 8 days in total. Do ask your prayers over that mission team. And there's a lot of mission teams going out during the summer. A lot of churches have things that they do over the summer. I know of many. So just kind of cover that in just all those who are going to be traveling and just going and sharing Jesus in other parts of the world. Just be praying over that. And I talk about having a prayer list for first responders and all those kinds of things. Missions needs to be something that's on your prayer list constantly, because that's what we've all been called to, is to share the love of Jesus wherever that might be and make disciples. So we're going to do that down in El Rosario in just a couple of weeks. And with that said, though, I said we've got some special things. This is one of my students, Alex Maddux, is in the house. He's one of my. He's my all-star. I mean, I was telling my husband this morning. I said, well, what can I say about Alex? I said he's my award winner. He's my top grade earner. He's the one who I say, hey, let's do this, and he's at the front of the line. Let's go do it. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. And we were talking right at the end of the school year about him coming in, and I said, okay, are we going to do a half hour or a full hour? And you said
a full hour.
Uh-oh. I want to know, man. What are we going to talk about, Alex? Because, I mean, okay. So, Am I doing okay as a teacher? That's what everybody wants to know. Because
Yes.
I'm freaked out. You know that, right? Can y'all tell that in class sometimes that I'm just like, I don't know. Or do I pull it off okay?
You're doing okay. You're
Okay.
doing good. I think
Putting you on the spot.
the I feel like the class has gone really good so far, other than like how we have like had to work things out since it's the first year of this class.
That's
But
the thing. Yeah.
other than that, I've really enjoyed the class.
Thank you. And that's one of the things too. One of our students, Jacob Ballas, he was planning on graduating early, and I told him, I said, you can't, because he really loves the program too. And you guys have been there in the developmental stages. There's so many things we're going to do we haven't been able to do yet. So I think we've talked him into, he's going to be a senior and coming back, because he's going to AV3 is not going to be until the spring. So, but we're going to get some kind of a club going, so that way you guys can still be tagging in and working with the program, even though you've already taken AV1 and 2. And we're even talking about doing dual enrollment. And you'll be able, since you're going to be a junior, I think that if all that comes together, that may be in place before you graduate. So, all kinds of things. It's exciting. So, why are you interested in this? Why are you interested in this, Alex? Oh, and John's on here. Hey, John, how are you doing? John Cohey, another one of our students that's been in here. So what are you interested in doing out for a career?
I haven't really, I guess, decided that yet, but I think the thing that got me interested was my grandparents got me a green screen for my birthday one year,
Uh-oh.
and ever since then I've just really enjoyed doing stuff with audio and video and editing and production and things like that.
Well, what's really fun too is we're doing podcasting, and get ready, because it's going to take me a few weeks to get all the editing done. But I had the last couple of weeks of school, I just kept sending y'all in there to the table to do podcasting, and y'all would just start talking. And some of the conversations, I've got audio on these conversations with these students, and it's hysterical. It's enlightening in many ways. Y'all talk, some of the subjects get rather deep at times. But mostly it's just fun. And it's talking about the different things that you've learned or maybe want to learn and haven't learned yet. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to listen to that. But you liked that. Had you ever thought about podcasting before that?
No.
Okay. So now him and his cousins, have y'all done an episode yet?
We haven't really had the time yet, but the first episode's probably going to be me and my cousins, but after that, I'm going to try to find other people too.
Other people to talk about. And have you already registered your title and all of that? Have you gone on and gotten an account?
Yes.
Okay. And this is Rachel Culver's daughter. She came in and did the show with me, and this has been months ago, and she started talking about the ease of podcasting and how easy it was. And truly, people call this a podcast. This is not a podcast. This is a real radio station, even though we stream it, right? It's on 1100 WSGI. It's on, you can dial it up on your radio in your car. But, so this is not a podcast. This is a broadcast. Podcasts are something it's so funny because Jacob will say, well, we can't edit it. It's got to all be live. Pretty much all podcasts are edited, and they maybe weren't in the beginning, and we're going to do a live stream, but then you have the privilege, you have the opportunity to edit it before you post it. So we're going to take the audio and put it up on the podcast platforms through Buzzsprout, and Rachel's daughter is the one who pointed us in that direction, and it's a real user-friendly site. And then we're going to take the video version and put it up on YouTube. So as we're, kind of figuring all that out, it's just, I'm excited for what we're going to do, and I'm excited for how many of the students have been like, I like doing this. So, because a lot of them have. They're always asking, Miss Vivio, can we do a podcast? Can we do a podcast? So it's going to be fun. So what would you like to see with the audio video program? What do you think we need? What's your hope that we'll do next year? Do you have any anticipation, or are you just waiting to see what happens?
I guess mainly just waiting to see what happens, but I feel like I would enjoy if we did more filming of things, I guess, of just different, really anything like interviews or anything like that. Or
Okay.
I liked how we did the documentary too.
Right. And we still haven't finished it. We were waiting on all of our studio set to come together so we can finish up just opens and closes and all that. So that'll be one of the first things we'll do in the fall is I hope, I said that we were going to do that in the spring and everything just didn't come together. We're still trying to get all the technology. I'm just trying to learn all these new things has been daunting. I'll tell you one thing, the drone. How about the drone? Do you like flying the drone? You're kind of
I
not.
like the things you can do with the drone, but I don't like flying the drone.
So yesterday, right? We take, because my husband is the safety guy for the buses. So he has been just hounding me. I want you to fly the drone while we've got all the buses in the shop because it looks cool, right? So yesterday we go out there with the drone and I'm flying and getting the footage and stuff. And I kind of lost my bearings for a minute and had to just set it down. And I had to do the little beep, 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 find my drone and get my son to help me find my drone. But we did, and it didn't get damaged. But we went over to the bus depot and got some stuff yesterday. But it is nerve wracking because it's new to me too. So, but, practice makes perfect with the drone. That's my thing. You just got to practice. So if you practice with it, would you be more interested in flying the drone, Sam?
Probably.
Probably so. Okay. We'll have to do that. We'll do that from the club perspective, and I don't really know how all this is going to shape up. But one thing, what I'm hoping, and I haven't proposed this to anybody at school, but what I would love to see is us do something during cat time, which is our homeroom. We have first block and then we have cat time, and what I would love is to see like the first 5 minutes of cat time. First 5-10 minutes is a live feed of the announcements rather than Dr. Osborne reading them. I mean, she can, but maybe then us do them from the news desk and put it out on social media. That'd be fun. Would you want to be in front of the camera?
I'll have to think about it.
You do good, though. You could do that. You could totally do that. Okay, so Alex Maddux is here. We're talking about all things with Robertson County Schools. You grew up here, right?
Yes.
So you've never been anywhere else? This is where'd you go to elementary school?
I went to Kreisel, then Crestview, then went back to Kreisel.
Okay, and now you're at Greenbrier High School, and he is a junior now. So 2 more years, man. You know it's going to go pretty fast. Mm-hmm. You bought your first car.
Yes.
He saved his money, paid for it all himself. What'd you get?
It was a 2008 Chevy Malibu.
Okay.
And it was off Marketplace, and I think it was a pretty good deal for what it is. And the only thing that has to be replaced is the tint and the headlights they're like tinted, so we have to get that redone.
Okay.
But other than that, it's good.
Okay. Well, you got the permit. You got to get the license now. So I love it. That's one of the most fun parts of my job is watching you guys at this stage of life. Because you're just kind of coming into, I'm going to have to start being an adult pretty soon. And and it'll be just a minute. Do you have siblings?
Yes.
How many siblings?
One sister, one half brother, and then 3 step siblings.
Okay. Are they older, younger? Or are you in the middle?
Kind of in the middle.
Kind of in the middle. All right. But, we've had a lot of fun, and I know you've got, your grandma, and you've got a lot of family all the way around, don't you? That's one thing I'm learning here in Robertson County. You just better be careful what you say because you're probably talking to somebody's cousin when you say it. Is that true?
Probably so.
Probably so. Okay, let me go ahead and reset. We're going to do a break. We're going to continue our conversation with Alex, just kind of getting to know him a little bit this morning. You will hear more from Alex because he's going to be with me through the next couple of years as we continue to build this audio video program at Greenbrier, and he has a great interest in this, and so I just love to have him come in here and talk. And I'll shut up and let him talk here in a minute. But I just want to kind of unpack everything for you. But we're going to pause for just a moment and talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. Went by there yesterday. No, the days run together. Went by on Sunday and picked up some more mully grass. This is if you have not discovered this stuff, it is just this real bushy grass. And then in the fall, it looks like cotton candy. Lacey Bew has some of this and she's shown me pictures of it and it's the coolest stuff ever. And I'm so excited to add it to my yard. And I'm having to replace some stuff because I had a lot of things that did not make it. because of the polar vortex, right? And so I'm having to go in and redo some things. I lost all of my English ivy that was up on arbors. So I'm having to redo some things like that. I'm having to just plug in some holes with ferns or different things just to make the yard look a little more complete while things regrow. Amy can help you with all of that. Go to their Facebook page. Go to Corbin Creek Greenhouse and Gifts, and you'll find out all the things going on. It's just always beautiful stuff. Every time, every time you go to Corbin, it's something different. They've got some beautiful displays for you with just to get all the red, white, and blue out there. They're doing a lot of that right now. If you go and check out their Facebook page, they show you some of the beautiful arrangements that they have just waiting for you. Their vegetable garden, that's underway, and they'll have fresh vegetables to sell as soon as that produce starts coming in. If you have questions, they're at 4920 Highway 161 here in Springfield. You can call them at 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. Open now 9 to 4, 9 to 4, or 9 to 5, I think. 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday, 1 to 4 on Sunday. Just call them and talk to them. And that's one thing Amy says. If you can't get there when she's open, just let her know and she'll try to meet you. But yeah, 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday, 1 to 4 on Sundays. That's their hours for the summer. Go by and see them. They've got some bedding plants still for your garden. If you want to have the best garden ever, go and talk to them. Brian Pulley, he gets all of his bedding plants there. I love using his little testimonial. Says when he finally started getting all his garden plants at Corbin, best garden he's ever had. So that's what he's going to do from now on. You should do that the same. And they have your Robertson County CBD products to make sure you know what you're getting if you're going to try CBD, to see if it'll help you with your arthritis or any kind of inflammation issues and all kinds of things. The salves, all that stuff. Go into the shop and see what they have and make sure you tell them U-Turn sent you. All right, back to the show. We are talking with my student, Alex Maddux. He is a Robertson Countyan since birth and one of our students at Greenbrier High School, an incoming junior. Just bought his car, paid cash for it. When I hear from students that have saved their money and bought their own cars and you're doing what you're doing, I just give a lot of honor to that, because that's your parents are making you do it right, right? So how long have you been saving for that car?
Well, the money that I used to buy it was in my savings account, and I've had the savings since I was born. So.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's great. Well, my grandkids have savings accounts like that where they put their birthday money and all that kind of thing. Well, that's a good thing to use it for. All right. One of the things, though, that when Alex, we were talking about coming in, you wanted to talk about all the different movies that are happening here. Alex, when he's missing from class, 9 times out of 10, he's an extra in one of the local productions. Because you've pretty much been at or around all of them, haven't you?
I think all of them that have happened recently, except for the Nicole Kidman one.
Okay, the Nicole Kidman one was kind of weird because they did some of it in Clarksville, and all of a sudden it was here, and a lot of people didn't know about it. So I'm not really sure. I don't know why they had to go to Clarksville. We're so much better, I mean, let's just be real. We're so much nicer. But they should have done it all here. But now, what about the one with Terry Martin Hollywood? We like to call him, our parks guy, playing the bad sheriff. So you were a part of that, right?
Yes.
What is the name of that one?
It's called The Life of Me, and they said it's expected early spring or late fall.
Okay, so we should see that really in the next few months. Do you know what production company? Is it like Hallmark? Is it,
I think it's independent, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So what is that one about? Can you kind of give us a premise on what that movie is about?
I don't really know much, but I know it was something about a business owner or something like that owned. They filmed in Etta Ray, so I'm thinking maybe the business was a restaurant or something like that.
Okay.
That's all I really know about that.
Okay, so it's got some ties to a local restaurant. We know that Terry's character is a crooked cop, right? So we know that much, but it should be fun. And where else? Okay, you said they filmed in Etta Ray's. What are some of the other places that they used?
So they've used Etta Ray's. They used outside of Etta Ray's and around the square in that part. They filmed in one of the historic houses, and I know they filmed in a It's called Film House. It's in Nashville,
Oh yeah.
and then that's all that I know of in Springfield. But I'm sure they use other places.
Yeah, Film House has been around a long time.
Hmm.
That's one of those places that oh my gosh, I'm not sure how long it's been around, but they do a ton of production. So that doesn't surprise me that they're involved. So what was your involvement in that movie? What did you do?
I was just an extra, but they had asked me to stay. I was there for about 4 or 5 different days.
Miss school. We won't say what your biology teacher said, about you missing school. We'll just leave that alone. But it doesn't hurt my class. But some of those subjects that there's tests involved. How'd you end up in biology? Did you do okay? Your
I,
grade your grades okay?
I think I ended up with a B. I
Good
think.
job. Good job. But so you did okay with your grades across the
I think.
board?
I think
Okay.
so.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just teasing you. But so you said you were an extra. What did that involve? And so you, because basically when you hear about these movies and you apply to be an extra, do they approve you or do they just tell you to show up?
Usually you'll have to email, and then they'll email you back about if they need you or not. But usually since you're an extra, they usually use you, and they'll email you back and with like a call sheet, and then it's just really different for each one, I guess. But for this one, I remember I emailed about it because I seen it on some Facebook thing, and then they emailed me back telling me like what I needed to wear when I need to be there and things like that.
So you say a call sheet. Explain to people what a call sheet is.
It just basically tells you like all of the information of when to be there, and then it says like the nearest hospital, the weather for that day, um, the times for the different actors, and the contact information for each person and things like that.
Okay. So basically just kind of gives you, we would call that sometimes too a rundown. That would just kind of say this is happening at this time, and it's a schedule that they try to keep to that they don't always. Um, do you were you first time that you got involved in a production? Were you surprised at the amount of time it took to shoot, say, a scene that ends up being 1 or 2 minutes on the screen?
Yes.
So if you have, as an example, would you say, let's say 5 minutes of actual movie time? How long do you think that usually takes to film? As you think what just off the cuff, what do you think?
I guess it really just depends, but I would say maybe at least 4 hours.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's what people don't realize that and truly it kind of depends on exactly what you're doing and how many moving pieces there are in part, because if you've got a lot of different people that have a part in it, then everybody's got to get it right. If you've got one person and you're just, focusing on one actor or one scene, then it can get done. But when you have all these different things coming together, all you have to do is have one, little mess up and you got to start over and you got to start over, or the weather can turn on you. Were you involved in the movie that they did here that was a Christmas movie and it was so stinking hot and everybody had to be in coats and it was just miserable hot, but they had to pretend like it was cold?
I wasn't, but I'm kind of glad now that I wasn't because of that reason.
Yeah.
But it still would have been cool to be in it, but I wasn't.
Because that one's been several years ago, probably before you really got interested in it, maybe, because you'd have still been a little kid. Because that one's been a minute, and I forget what that one's. It was about a military. I mean, it's a cool movie. You can buy that on Amazon Prime. I can't remember the name of it, but if somebody remembers the name of that, you can put that up in the comments, and I'll share that with everybody. But that was one of the first ones I knew about. So we've got. The Life of Me, that was the first one. What else have you been in here locally?
There was another feature film or movie. It was called Ride, like RIDE,
Mm-hmm.
and that one was like a little bit more professional than the other one before that, but it was about I know it was something like a heist or bank robbery or something like that, but I know it's kind of like a Western type movie,
Okay.
but I was also an extra in that one.
And what was your job as an extra in that one?
We filmed by the antique barn. It was a scene where we went. So we pulled up in the truck, and then they had like the awning that's behind the antique barn. They had that full of hay,
Mm-hmm.
and we pulled up in the truck, and then we backed in, and then we got out of the truck, and it was as if like we were loading up feed for like animals, I guess, and hay,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got back in the truck and then pulled off.
Okay, but so what was going on? You're an extra in that. So what was going on in the scene while you were doing that? Were there actors acting out in front of you, or was it just
Yes.
kind of a because we talk about B-roll. B-roll are just is the transitional things that you do that maybe there's not action going on, that it's just kind of the town scene or the setting the scene. And so was it B-roll or was there actual action going on in front of you?
They said something about music was going to be playing over it, but it was actually something happening. One of the main actors was there with us. He was the one, like, we were talking back and forth with them as we were putting in the feed and stuff. And it was him, and then his son, and then me and the other guy, and then we got back in the truck. So, I mean, yeah, I know it's going to have music over it, they said, but I think it was more of like an action scene.
So it's kind of like them just being around town, interacting with some of the people who they are in the community with. So okay, that's going to be cool then. That's a pretty cool little part. That's going to be awesome. Do you remember the actor's name? The main actor?
It was C. Thomas Howell. He
Okay.
played Pony Boy in The Outsiders
Okay.
movie, and then he's in E.T., Criminal Minds, and things like that.
Okay, cool. I'm sure we'd know him. He's one of those guys you'd be like, "Oh yeah." I think I remember seeing a picture that you had with the actor, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I recognize him," but the name not immediately. Well, that's going to be exciting. And what'd you say the name of that one's called? Ride.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Is that the one that Smokey Barnes tried to bust in on the set? Was that it? Do you know about that? What? Okay, let me do a break, and you just tell Smokey Barnes just cracks me up, and little stinker. But we'll tell what Smokey did. It's kind of funny, actually. But let me go ahead and do a break real quick, and we'll continue talking with my student. Alex Maddux is in the house for the full hour, and we're talking about some of the movies that have been produced here locally, and talking about the audio video program that we're building at Greenbrier. Because I think the anticipation is to have these programs throughout the Robertson County School District. That's the hope through the Career and Technical Education Program, the CTE program. So it's just fun to be a part of that as we're building it, and Alex is helping us build it. So it's pretty cool stuff. Okay, we're going to pause and talk about Barry and Rebecca Ridgers with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. My friends, talking about people helping with the audio video program. I talk about this all the time. Barry has been essential. He's the one who taught us all to fly the drone. Truth be told, he came out and he actually brought a drone. He brought the drone and flew it in the classroom. He has an indoor drone, and so he showed us that one and let some of the students fly that one in Audio Video 1. And then we got our drones. And so he came out and helped us get those set up and get all that done. I can't say enough about how much he has helped us. And he just does that. He and Rebecca, they're so good in the community. You will go to different events and you'll find their sign up for the Exit Realty Garden Gate team where they're one of the sponsors. They're just so helpful and so kind. They were one of the sponsors for the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. And of course, that's past. You'll have to wait till next year for another one, but you'll see them all the way around the community. They're in Cross Plains. They've been there 27 plus years. They specialize in Robertson County properties, but also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. My friends in real estate, go and check them out today at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy robertsoncounty.com, or better yet, just give Becky a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know U-Turn sent you. All right, Alex Maddux is in the house. Yes. That movie Rider, everybody was real curious about it, and there wasn't a lot of info on it. And so our very own Smokey Barnes, I love Smokey Barnes. I love what he does. Number one, it was, his brainchild, and he put up this news. I mean, we've got our own little news
Your
feed
local
there,
news from
and it's a lot of fun,
WSGI.
but Smokey does a great job. And so what did he do? Just tell them what happened, because that was so funny.
So it was getting dark, and it we had just got done filming the scene where we were pulling off in the truck, and we had pulled off, we parked, and then when we came to go back around, I heard a guy walk up, and his voice sounded familiar, and I knew it was him. So I looked over, and he was talking to one of the producers or something, and he had the camera on his hat, and he was trying to get information from the guy about what was going on.
Well, because what he was doing is, if I'm not mistaken, from what you were telling me, is they had it barricaded off this road, and the only way you were getting access down is if you were a resident,
I think
if you
so.
lived there, right?
I think
And
so.
he was like, "Oh, I live down there," right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he was messing with them, but that's what the media does. But did they finally run him off?
I think they told him stuff about it, and he got it on video, but I think he ended up getting what he needed.
Okay, he's funny, but yeah, I heard all about that, Smokey. We know what you're up to, Jim. But that was a lot of fun. So that's two movies, The Life of Me and Rod. Have you been in any others?
They recently just filmed a detective series, um, by the library, and I was in that too.
Okay, so what is that about?
I don't know the name or what it's about or anything like that, other than the scene that we were filming was like a crime scene, and it was where somebody had got shot or something like that.
Okay,
And they had like the caution tape, and then they had both roads blocked off, and we were like the neighborhood people, like
it's like what's going
like
on?
yeah,
Yeah,
and
the looky-loos,
mhm.
as we call them in traffic. It's like looky-loos, stop it. But
And one of the detective guys came up, and he was like asking us questions, asking if we seen anything or if we knew anything about what had happened.
fun. So you don't know when that's going to show up.
I think it's a few months, but I'm not for sure. They said they would invite us to the screening of it.
So is this something that's a pilot?
Yes.
So this is a new detective series. Is it something that they're saying is going to be shot in this area if it gets picked up?
I'm not sure. I know they filmed here, and then they went to Kentucky,
Okay.
and I think they were also in Clarksville.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. Maybe we'll have NCIS Kentucky, Tennessee, man. I mean, it could happen. They got NCIS everything else, but it could happen. Well, because of Fort Campbell. Oh, it could. But no, is that Navy though? NCIS, is that? I don't even know. I
I don't
can't
know.
remember. Or is it just military? I don't know. But nonetheless, we could have like a military detective thing because we got Fort Campbell nearby. That would be interesting. But you don't know, so they know you know nothing else about that. But it's a
No.
pilot. And tell what people with this being a series, explain to people what a pilot is. I know you know this.
I think it's pretty much just like the pilot episode is to like get it to distributors, I guess,
It's to introduce it.
to
Yeah.
to introduce it and see if it's going to be aired on TV or
hmm
like film festivals or anything like that.
Right. Anytime you have a series, that's the first thing they do is you're gonna do the pilot episode. It's like, okay, here we're gonna put it out there and see what you think. And sometimes you'll find that if you go and watch a pilot episode for a series, and they'll have certain actors in it, and then the series gets picked up, and meaning that one of the networks says, "Yep, we want that. We will buy 15 episodes, maybe." And the actors sometimes change because sometimes a pilot will happen and it may be a year, 2 years down the line before it actually gets picked up. They like the concept and they finally get it to somebody that says they want it. And by the time they actually get it to the production phase for a full run for a season, then sometimes actors aren't available, or maybe they've changed their mind, they don't want to do it. But that's one of the reasons why you'll see a pilot, and it will sometimes change very much from the pilot to what they actually have for the season. So that'll be very curious. Did you recognize any of the actors in that detective series?
I didn't.
I think that was the thing whenever your biology teacher came up to me and said, "Where's Alex?" Like I was responsible for you because it was audio video
Hmm.
and it was being an actor and all these things. I was like, Naval Criminal Investigation is what NCIS is. Thank you very much. So it's Navy, so it couldn't be, we couldn't tie NCIS into Fort Campbell. Oh, well. But, but so interesting talking with Alex Maddux and all the things audio video driven that he is interested in. What else have you got? Have there been any other movies, or is that the ones that, or any other productions, or is that it? You've had the 2 movies and the detective series. Have you been involved in any of the others?
I mean, I've done some short films and stuff, but nothing big.
Yeah.
And
Short films. Explain what you mean by short films. Is this
just like, I guess, mini movies, maybe. It's like anywhere between like 2 to 15 minute like films, I guess.
this is the stuff you've done with your cousins?
Yes,
Okay.
that stuff. But I've also done like um people from MTSU. I think is like they'll post on Facebook. They're looking for people to help
Okay.
film one. So I've done maybe 4 or 5 from that.
Okay. Do you think you'll do some of that this summer, maybe, or have you seen anything about that?
Usually like I'll email about it if I like run across something that
Mm-hmm.
like usually they're people over 18 though, so since
Oh,
I'm
you got to
not
be
over.
over 18 before
Mhm.
you can participate. Well, see, how in the world do you find out about all this stuff? Do you have a particular thing you follow on social media to find out about all the media, all the productions that are happening, or do you just, I mean, do you search productions in my area? What do you do?
I look on Facebook on a group called Nashville Casting Calls, and there's a few
Okay.
other little ones, but that's the biggest one. And also on location casting and Jenny Allison casting, and then I also get emails about like what days they need people and things like that.
Since okay, so since you do this, you are on their list, and so you'll get calls. Maybe you get emails directly from them now.
Hmm.
Okay. See, that's one thing we found when we did the thing with Jillian Michaels, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago now. Since then, well, for the first couple of years, they kept sending us stuff for casting calls for things, and we didn't have time to do them, and so they finally just dropped off, and we didn't get them. But we did right after that. We kept getting, so I get that. So I guess the thing, you had mentioned to me, and I'm real curious about this, is within those things that you're watching, do they also solicit for property that they want to do shooting sometime? Like, because you mentioned to me that they were looking for sites.
Yes.
So how did you find out about that?
Usually it's also just on the same page, the same Facebook pages, but
Okay.
they'll just say like they're looking for a house to film on, or they're
Right.
looking for a barn to film at, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then people will message saying like if they have it, and then like sometimes they let you do it for free, or they have they charge, or there's this website that has different locations that charge like a certain amount per hour or something, and they can go on there and look and pick which one they want.
Okay. Well, so that's the thing I didn't even realize is we're trying to develop our property into something, I don't know, more than we was a roofing company for so many years, and we're trying to repurpose it now. And we steered away from the venue idea because there's just too many venues now in Robertson County. And this is something that I'm kind of interested in. Um, is maybe doing that, and it's all because you mentioned it, and I thought, man, we might could do that, and I appreciate that so much. But we're talking with Alex Maddux. If you have any questions, he is my student at Greenbrier High School, and just loves all this audio video stuff, and it's so rewarding to be teaching this because as I came into the school, I thought, what if none of the kids want to do this? Because I mean, 'cause some of the students, I say, well, you want to do this, or this, and they're like, It's like, well, why are you in here? I was just curious, and so we need passionate students when we open up these programs and we open up these opportunities. We need students that really want to learn about it. Because you tell me, this is something to think about. I tell the students, every single one of us are broadcasters, right? Because of social media and all those things. I want you to answer that question for me when we come back, whether or not you agree with me and what you think about that and what we need to do in regards to all of us being broadcasters, some of the things we've talked about in class. So we're gonna discuss that in just a moment when we come back. And we'll continue talking with my student Alex Maddux here on 1100 WSGI. But let's pause for a minute. Let's talk about Cumberland Connect. One of the wonderful things, I am so excited for all the things I'm going to be doing this summer. I've got a lot of learning to do. I've got a lot of studying to do. I'm going to be taking some classes. I've got a temporary teaching license, but I've got to complete a program of study to keep it. And I'm going to be doing a lot of work at home. I'm setting up my office to where I've got a place to study and work, and having a great internet connection is going to be critical for me being able to do all the things that I need to do. And I'm so thankful now that I am a part of the Cumberland Connect community. First of the year, they came out and set me up, and I'm just thrilled with it. I'm going to see about getting an extender too, so we can use the internet out in our barn. Now that I'm, got some time off for the summer, that's something I may make a phone call to them today, as a matter of fact, because I want to get that signal out there, because I'm do photography out in my barn and different things, and that would really be helpful. But it's just wonderful. If you're a Cumberland Electric customer, you're going to have access to high-speed internet through Cumberland Connect. If you want to know if they're in your neighborhood, again, got to be a Cumberland Electric customer. You can call them at 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362, or you can get online at cumberlandconnect.org, cumberlandconnect.org, and just put in your zip code, and then they'll say, hey, we're in your neighborhood, or we'll be there in such and such time. $80 will get you a full gig. Join the gig club. Seems like everybody that comes into the studio is in the gig club, because why not? If you can get a gig for $80. But if that seems a little daunting and you're like, oh, I don't know if we can afford that. Well, they have an affordable connectivity program that provides qualifying households with monthly credit to help pay for internet services. And if eligible, you could receive a credit of up to $30 per month toward broadband services. And guess what? They have a package that starts at $30 per month. You could get free internet, and they'll help you out, because it's a utility now. We all need it. It is such a crucial part of our life, just like it was when the phone lines came in, and electricity and all those things. And now you can get it via Cumberland Connect. Connect with them today, and be sure and let them know that you turned switch up. Now, I asked Alex a question on the other side of the break, and I said, this is something I mentioned to Dr. Osborne. I said, that's our principal. I said, all honesty, I said, every single kid that comes to this school, I think, could benefit from having Audio Video One, because every single one of them, if they're doing anything on social media, they're broadcasters. Would you agree with that? So how often, do you post a lot of stuff on social media?
I don't, like, on Instagram, like, they have stories, so it's not there forever, I guess. But, like, I'll post usually stuff throughout the day on that, but then, like, the posts that stay on there that you can go back and look at, I rarely post there, but usually, like, family stuff that I do, I'll post the pictures from that on there.
Well, because you want to save them. So you say stories. This is one thing. I don't mess with Instagram. All you got to do is look me up on Instagram, and the stuff that's on there is from the Blaze, y'all. It's been that long. And so, because, that's one thing. They wanted us to do all the social medias. And, we even, I can't even remember. There was one that we don't have anymore they had us do. But, so do you do TikTok?
I have it, but I don't post TikToks.
Okay. Because, that's one thing I really caution the students about is TikTok, because it's considered something that you just don't even want in federal buildings. I've got a kid that's got all kinds of clearances, and, he talks about the dangers of TikTok. And it's not something that, and they just don't think, most students don't think anything about it. But it's very invasive. What was it that I told you guys, and see if you remember what I said, the one thing you can do so you spend less time on social media?
Turn off your notification.
Ding, 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 ding. And the reason why is because if you've got your phone, hold your phone up. This should be a tool. If it's screaming at you and sending you notifications, it's controlling you. You're not controlling it. So the one thing you can do that's very simple, other than just turning the thing off all the time, or maybe, deleting some of your social media accounts, the easy thing you can do, turn off your notifications. It constantly, my phone is always turn on notifications. Not now, not now. I'm constantly having to tell it not to notify me, because I want it to be a tool. I don't want it to rule me. And so, have you turned off your notifications?
They're off right now.
Oh, you've got them off right now, just now for the show. Okay, I'll take that. It's a hard thing to do because you get used to that. So when did you first get your phone? When did your folks let you have a phone?
7th grade, I think.
Seventh grade, that's okay. In junior high. So, I mean, I see some that are 7 years old that have them. And that's too early. But anyway, so I'm having fun talking to Alex this morning. I hope you guys are enjoying this conversation too, because this is a peek into the next generation. And I'll just say this: a lot of people are wringing their hands on the state of this society. We got some good ones coming along, and Alex is one of them. And they're going to fix this. They're going to fix this world. So, are you ready for the challenge?
I guess so.
You guess so. All right. But I tell you, before it's 15 till. We've done pretty good. Is there anything else that you brought to the table that you want to talk about that we haven't touched on?
I mean, there's a few more things I have
Go
on
ahead.
my list.
What have you got? What have you got on your list?
The other thing was there's another movie they're going to be filming.
Oh, what is that?
And I don't know the name of it or anything like that, but I know they're going to start in September. And it's another Christmas movie.
It'll be
And
hot.
that's the post where I seen they were looking for houses to film in.
Oh, okay.
But I've already reached out to, I don't know what role she has in it, but I've already talked to her and already have a spot saved to be in it. So,
You know that's during school. September, right? Yeah. So, but I'm sure you can, you have so many days you can take. So you need to save up and not get sick. So you can take off for your movie production stuff. But, so it's in September. And, so did you talk to a producer to save you a spot?
I'm not sure who
Probably
she
a
is.
producer, more than likely. That's usually producers, because we talk about the roles in production. You've got your director who is like all of it. But there's so many producers. And so I would imagine that you're talking to a producer if they've already reached out to you and said, "Hey, do you know what film company it is?"
I don't.
Yeah, they've just been they've just kind of keeping it under wraps. But well, that'll be interesting. I don't know what to think about our little city being this movie mecca. And it really truly is. And I think a lot of it is that the city is so friendly. People just love working with them. We've got what they need. So I don't know. You may be able to have a little career here just working with that. Because what did you do last summer? Tell them about that. Tell them what you did last summer. Because you did that production thing. Was that during the summer or was it a different time? Where you
Class.
did the class? Yeah.
It was a class that we did at the film house in Nashville, and it was a pre-production, production, and then post-production. So, like, pre-production, we would go through the budget, the location, the actors, the scripts, and all things like that. Production, we went and filmed at the different locations, and then post-production is what it's still in right now, and they're down to the credits now from
Okay.
editing it, so it's almost done.
Okay. What is it about?
It's called Allison's List, but I don't really know too much what it's about. I have the whole script, but I don't really.
So what was your part in it? Because you took the class. This was a class that Filmhouse is a great production company. Awesome. Again, they've been around forever, and a lot of the commercials, local commercials you see, come through Filmhouse. I had a lot of friends that did voiceover work over there, but. So what was your part in that production because this is a class that they had available you could sign up for, and I remember you telling about it, but what all did you do?
It was sometimes they would have different like teachers come in and teach us about the different stuff. Like in pre-production, they would have like somebody come in teach us about like budget, like the different things like that. So I was a part of like the learning process too, and then during production, I was it was a, whatever you call the clapperboard thing.
Okay, so you were so you did I don't even know what they call it. I haven't done enough television to know what the role is for that, but I don't know. That's a question. But so you did the board.
Yes.
You did the board, and what that is that's a marker. So when you're when you're with the film, you've got notes on that give you a place to where you, when you're editing, you can go quickly to it. And it's where you sync the sound. It's where you sync so you don't have lip sync issues. So it has to do with lip syncing and making sure that the audio matches the movement of the mouth and it's all synced up properly. So it's a syncing thing. It helps with editing, but it's really more about syncing the audio to the video, is my understanding. But so that was your job. Interesting.
It was a PA. PA. I just looked it up.
So
It
you were a
was
production assistant.
yes.
A PA is a production assistant. Okay, so that I didn't know that was the
Mhm.
production assistant's job to do the sync thing. But and whatever that clapperboard's called, we need to find out. I guess that's something I need to know. I need to get one of those for audio video production, so we can talk about that process because that's a syncing issue, and that's interesting. So what else did you do on that production? You did that, and
I was an extra in it a few times too. Like
okay.
whenever I wasn't doing the clapperboard thing, I
Mm-hmm.
was a extra, and that was a 4 month class, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and it was every weekend, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and in Nashville. But right now it's in editing, and I haven't really I know they're doing the credits now, but I don't know anything other than that because I haven't really taken part in the editing.
Was it one of those things you could sign up for the class and then participate as much as you could? Was it kind of that
Yes.
type of thing? Okay, well that's cool. So they basically offered it out and said, "Hey, you can sign up and we'll teach you as much as you can be here." But every weekend is a pretty daunting task over 4 months. But that's when you get involved in a production, guys. That's how it goes. I mean, it is like this, and it doesn't stop. If you watch different things, I'm a big fan of The Chosen, and I'm always watching where they are in production, and it's constant, constant, constant. They take very little time off while they're in production, and then they have this big long break as they do the post production and get it out there and get it rolling. But when you get involved in a production, man, you got to get it done because it's so expensive. There's so many moving parts, and it is extraordinarily expensive to get it done. So what else do you want to talk about? What else you got on your list?
The documentary that I'm doing about Springfield.
To explain that to them and explain why you want to do that.
I guess mainly just to learn more about the history and the future of Springfield, and since I'm on the filming side, I guess, and editing, since I also enjoy that, so it's kind of getting to do both things.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I've only interviewed one person just because I haven't really had time. But this summer, I'm planning on doing more with it.
Okay. So who have you interviewed?
Danny Ashley.
Yes, absolutely. And he knows a lot. And who do you have on your list of people who you want to interview? Have you contacted them yet, or have you got people that you need to contact that you haven't had a chance to talk with?
I have a pretty good list, a long list too, that I've contacted all of them, but I haven't filmed their interview yet.
Okay.
But
Is Mayor Vogel one of them? I think you told me you were going to talk to Mayor Vogel. But,
yes, I
Yeah.
think I have him on here.
well, because we had him come into class. Were you part of the class that we had him come in and do the interview, or was that a different class?
I edited the interview, but
You-
I wasn't
Okay.
in there when he did it.
Yeah, and that's part of the documentary that we're doing on the evolution of drugs, and so that's one. We've got two documentaries we're working on. One about Bigfoot, and one about the evolution of drugs. So we have like the fun and kind of mysterious one, and then we have the real heavy one that we're working on finishing up. But what else have you got that you want to bring to the table? We only got like 8 minutes yet, Alex. I said, now, are you sure you've got enough material for us to talk about? And yes, he does.
So I also wanted to talk about the My Father's House summer schedule.
Okay, yes.
So I have down the summer schedule for the My Father's House is the first and third Tuesday of each month through the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an overnight stay, but the summer schedule is 5 to 8 in the evenings. And they will provide supper, a devotional, and showers. And volunteers are very much appreciated and needed for the summer schedule. They need 12 volunteers each evening. They need 2 people to sign people in, 2 shower monitors, 4 mentors, and someone to do supper, and someone for a 15-minute devotional. And when they open back up in November for their winter schedule, it'll be open for every evening at 5 for supper, devotional, showers, clothing needs, and overnight stays, where they will leave each morning at 7. And it's located on 101 10th Avenue East. And the number to call for volunteers or anything like that is 615-992-1547.
Do that number again. Always in radio, you do the number twice because somebody will be like, oh, that's interesting. So what is that number again, Alex?
615-992-1547.
Very good. And that's one of those things, you also have an Isaiah 117 bracelet on. I don't have mine on. I broke mine. I've got to get another one. But you are so interested in these nonprofits. And you did a piece on Isaiah 117 House. We had My Father's House come in. That was one of the first interviews that we did, is we had those guys come in. We've learned a lot since then. We need to interview them again. What is your affiliation with My Father's House? Why are you interested in that?
I just think it's a really good thing that they're doing, and my grandmother volunteers there a lot, and she got that list together for me to read.
Well, and we hear from them a lot on social media here, and Miss Charlene chimes in a lot, so we appreciate so much what they do, and the fact that they do have opportunities for the homeless in the community to come in and take a shower during the summer. That's huge. And I just appreciate them so much for what they're doing there, and just can't say enough about those kinds of places. My Father's House, Isaiah 117 House, Open Door, all that. We've got some amazing nonprofits here in this community that just cope. So many that take care of people that have needs here in the community, and your family does so much for nonprofits around. I just hear you talking about that all the time, and that's just wonderful. You've got that legacy in your family.
For the Isaiah House, we wear every Easter. We get the Ditch the Dress Up shirts, and we all wear those to church.
What is? Explain that. Explain that to me.
I'm not really sure. I guess it's just like ditch the dress up because everybody usually dresses up on Easter.
Yeah.
So you wear that T-shirt, and it
The Isaiah shirt.
has the Isaiah 117 on the back.
I think that's a great idea. And it helps raise money and awareness for what's going on. We got one more commercial to do. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to come back and we're going to wrap it up with Alex Maddux. Anything else that you think that we need to mention? We need to definitely plug your mom's ice cream truck. Got to do that for sure. We want to put a plug in for Mom. But we're going to come back and reset after we talk about my friends Veterans Motorplex. If you want to go to the races, good news, you can go for free. These little Let's Talk Trash magazines are all over town. They came out a few weeks ago. This was the last one for the school year. The Keenans, Debbie and Bob Keenan, they put this out, the Keenan Group, and it's just a great little publication. If you remember the Highlights magazines from when we were kids, us old school folks, it's very similar to that. And it came out in the paper a few weeks ago. You'll find them at some of the sponsors still at the post office, at Home and Jewelers. I know F&M Bank has it. But go and check it out and see if you can find it, because this is a very valuable ticket on the back. It is a $40 value that will get in up to 6 kids and 2 adults for free. This ticket is good anytime during the 2003 race season. All you got to do is present this, put your name, email, and phone number on there, and they're going to let you in for free. Can't beat that at all, and you're going to have so much fun if you go to the races. They're at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. If you've got questions, you can call them at 643-8725, 643-8725. Racing, they open the gates at 4 p.m., and I think racing starts at 6, and you will have so much fun. They got a great concession stand. They have fun games and things for the kiddos. Just so much fun. You're going to see teenagers out there racing sometime. It is so stinking cool. I can't say enough about it. And if you want to follow them on social media, find them at Highland Rim Speedway. They kept the old Highland Rim Speedway social media pages and just changed the header to Veterans Motorplex. Good folks, good times for the entire family, and you can go for free if you'll go find this paper. And just be sure when you go out there, you tell them that you turned Cincha and thank them for being one of our sponsors of One Street Over. Alex, tell us about your mom's little business she's got going on, especially here in the summertime.
It is a ice cream truck. It's called Sweet Escape, and she started last summer, but this is gonna be the first summer that she's actually got everything going.
Okay. So what happens? So is she the one that she plays the little song as she comes into the neighborhood, or is it she does have the little speaker and it's
Yes.
just like, oh, there's the ice cream truck, but she has other things too, not just ice cream.
She has drinks, candy, chips, and then a bunch of different varieties of ice cream.
Okay, so you can get like the drumsticks. Oh, of course, got to have those. Got to have those. And so if you see, does it have what is it called again?
Sweet Escape.
Does it have that written on the side of the truck?
Yes, they got it spray painted and by a tattoo artist, I think it was.
Oh, fun.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go check this out, and you can find her on social media, Sweet Escapes. Go check it out, and you can book her for your event, right? And she'll come out, but then she'll just show up in some of the parks and some of the neighborhoods as well. So are you going to be riding along on the ice cream truck a little bit, maybe?
I think I probably will.
Since you're, her kid, does she let you just go out there and get anything you want?
She usually does, but my sister's one of the main ones that gets something off there.
Always trying to say, hey, Mom, you got an ice cream truck. We can get anything we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what, that would be a fun thing to do for a birthday party, something like that. If you're doing something outside and you want to have, just some fun, have her come out and, be there and have all the snacks. Well, that'd be an easy way to take care of your snacks, too. Is just have the ice cream truck come out and just take care of business. I love that. Because I think a church could probably say, hey, we're going to, come out and we're going to pay for it and let the kiddos get something, VBSs and that kind of stuff. So is she staying booked up for the summer?
I
Pretty
think
much?
so. I think she has something usually almost every Saturday.
Oh, that's awesome. So tell them again how to get in touch with Mom.
You can find her on Facebook at Sweet Escape or Instagram.
So Sweet Escape here in Springfield. Talk to Alex's mom. What's her name?
Angela.
Angela Maddux. And tell her she did a fine job raising her son, too. I'm glad I get an opportunity to hang out with you. And we're going to have a lot of fun in audio video. We still got 2 years, man. It's going to be fun. So anything else we haven't covered?
There's one more thing.
One more thing. Go for it.
I was going to talk about my aunt. She's starting her own. It's called the Magic Dog Bus. I don't know if you've seen that.
No. What is that all about?
She has a Facebook for it, and it says, "Let us take your pups on a field trip, to and from daycare and boarding facilities."
Okay.
So she has like this big bus that I guess that she's going to take dogs back and forth on.
Got it. That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, very cool. Very cool. Now, how can they get in touch with her?
She also has a Facebook. It's the Magic Dog Bus, and then she has an email on there and a website.
Okay.
And then Saturday, June 17th at 1, they're doing an open bus at Deja Vu White House.
Very good. Awesome. You did good, Alex. We covered, we're actually a minute over, so we're going to wrap it up before Ilya comes and kicks me out of here. Join us tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the Barrel Festival out in Coopertown. Aaron Slate's going to be coming in here. And then we're going to talk with our foreign exchange student program on Thursday. Can't wait. We're going to have a guest from Tasmania. I can't even say that, but got a lot of great stuff coming up for you on One Street Over. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a great day.